Hi guys, welcome to yet another exciting video and welcome to my YouTube channel. For those who have been coming back to watch my videos, thank you so much. I'm so happy, I'm grateful for your support. May God bless you. If you're new here, my name is Tabitha Joseph and I teach people about urban agriculture, and I'm excited because whatever I'm sharing with you is what I've learned over several years that I've been doing farming, that is urban agriculture so far. So welcome, and today I'm excited because I'm going to be answering a question that was asked by one of my viewers. So I'm going to answer a question one of you asked: why are my chicks dying? I didn't know they are dying at what age, but I'm going to give you an answer that will be comprehensive to deal with any cause of death in your chicks, whatever age they are. So let me start by saying, if your chicks began to die immediately they came into your farm, it is likely that your chicks came when they were weak. That is to mean they had overstayed in their packagings before maybe they reached to you. Because a chick is normally hatched. When you're buying broiler chicks, you're buying them when they are day old. So at times they could be hatched and then they do not get to the farmers in the right time. And in the process, they get weak because they'll need food, they'll need water. And if they lack access to such, they might be weak. So if they began to die immediately they came into your farm, it is possible they were weak. And this is something that you can even notice. Immediately you see your chicks, you are likely to see if they are weak. You're going to see them. They'll be weak just by looking at them. You'll see that these chicks are not doing well. So at that point, what you need to do, and that's why we had discussed in another video about having reliable suppliers. What you need to do is to contact your supplier and tell them that you realize these chicks are weak. And what they normally do, if you incur so many deaths, they replace the chicks for you. But that is only for reliable suppliers. There are some people who will not care about you and your chicks, but if they are reliable people, they'll tell you to count the number of chicks that have died within a given period, and then they will replace the chicks for you. So that's why it's good to have a reliable person supplying you with the chicks. And again, if you have reliable suppliers, it is likely that your chicks will not overstay in the packagings. So they will come to you when they are healthy and vibrant. So get a reliable supplier for your chicks, and that way you're going to reduce the number of deaths you're experiencing. Number two, if the chicks are dying after you fed them the first day, it is possible that your management skills are not correct. For example, when the chicks come to the farm, the first thing they're supposed to be fed on or to be given is water. You're supposed to give them water before food. So if you give them food before water, chances are some of them might die. This is because that chick has not eaten anything since it was hatched, and maybe it is 24 hours later or even 48 hours later, depending on where they are coming from. So this chick needs water for the digestive system. So you're supposed to give water before food, and the water that you're giving is supposed to have vitamins, and also it should have something called liquid paraffin and glucose. Glucose is good because these chicks will have traveled from a certain place to your farm, and so they'll be weak. Somehow they'll be weak, so they'll need energy from the glucose. Vitamin is good to reduce stress. The journey they made could have caused stress on them, so vitamins will reduce stress. And liquid paraffin is necessary for the digestive system. It helps the food, once they start eating, it helps the food to be digested easily and quickly, and it reduces constipation on your birds. So once the birds come to your farm, you're supposed to feed them first with water and not food, and make sure your water has some vitamins, it has glucose and liquid paraffin. That is the first thing you feed on your chicks. Then after that, you give them food, of course food from a reliable supplier, and that way you're also assured that your chicks will be well. Then if Another cause of your chicks to be dying, that is before they get to 3 weeks, is if you bring them in an unclean house. Unclean house means maybe the flock that was there previously was infested with a certain disease, and most cases these are the viral diseases. If you don't disinfect your house properly, it means if you bring in new birds, they are going to have the same disease that was there. So if you introduced your chicks to an unclean house or a house that you did not disinfect properly, it means that there might be the disease could have been still in the house, and now it is affecting the new flock that you've brought in. So it is good once you are done, you've removed your previous flock, it is good to clean your house, remove all the manure and all the litter, clean the house with water. If it is somewhere you can clean with water, and disinfect with disinfectants. They are there in our agrovets. You can ask the best that are used to disinfect poultry houses. Disinfect your house and also give it some time. You can give a week or 2 weeks for the house to be before bringing in new flock. That will be assured that there are no diseases remaining in your house, and you reduce the number of deaths. So if your chicks are dying before they attain 3 weeks, it is also likely that there were some bacteria and virus in the house where you brought in your chicks, and they got the disease, and that's where they are dying. In such a case, you're supposed to get a vet, let them diagnose your chicks, and let them recommend the best medication. And once they give you the medication, adhere to it, and your chicks will be well. Another cause of death is between day 1 and day 10, it could be cold weather. If the temperatures in your brooder are not enough, your chicks are going to die. This is because they are going to congest together and they might die. Also, if the temperature is not enough, it means that your chicks will not be feeding well. If they lack to feed in the proper way, the internal organs do not grow. You find that their growth rate is low. And if a chick happens to have a negative effect the first 72 hours, unfortunately that effect is not reversible. So it means your chicks will not grow as required. They will die in the process. So that's why I'm saying it is very, very important to take care of your chicks the first 72 hours before they incur any negative effects. So we are talking about cold weather. In most cases, when it is cold outside or when it is raining, sometimes you might find that you're using 2 bulbs or 2 jikos for your chicks, and the weather has changed. You're supposed to add an extra heat source to ensure that your chicks are getting adequate temperature in the brooder. So you realize that your chicks congest together when that is to show that the heat is not enough. Sometimes you'll see them growing, but their wings are dropping, or the wings seems to be bigger than the body. It is also another sign that the heat in your brooder is not enough. So make sure that you provide the right amount of temperature for your chicks in the brooder, and that way you're going to reduce dying. So if I'm answering this question, as I said, to a viewer who asked, and I want to let you know that if you see the wings of your chicks bigger than the body, it is likely that your chicks are not getting enough heat. Look at that and take care of it before they continue dying. Yeah, so that is another cause of death before week 3. Now, if your chicks are dying at week 3, if they are dying at week 3, and this is the time that we change the food from crumbs to pellets, it means that you're not doing it the right way. We said in another video that when you're changing your food, you're not supposed to change, like today they are feeding on crumbs, tomorrow they start feeding on pellets immediately. No, you're supposed to do it gradually. That is to mean today you introduce a small quantity of pellets, tomorrow you increase the amount of pellets, the third day you increase again until the 4th day when you're going to have them now feeding on pellets. You do not introduce the new feeds all of a sudden. No, you do it gradually. You mix with the current feeds they are using. You go increasing the new food until you now begin feeding them purely on the new food, and that is the pellets that you're introducing at week 3. So if you fail to do this the correct way, some birds may die, and this is due to stress. These broiler birds, as I had said before, they are very delicate, so you're supposed to take care of them well. So make sure that when you're feeding them, you do not change the food immediately. You change gradually, as we've discussed, and that you're going to reduce deaths. And also, when you're changing food, it is also recommended to give them some vitamins during this period, because they might experience some stress. You see, they are used to a certain kind of food, and now you are bringing in a new type of food. So make sure you're giving them some vitamins when you're introducing new feeds to them. So that is another reason why your chicks could be dying, and in particular at week 3 when you're changing foods. Another reason why they could be dying at this time is waterberry disease. Waterberry disease may occur due to lack of proper ventilation in your house, or when it is too cold, or the way I've said, when you change your food immediately. You find when the digestion system has been interfered with, the chicken tends to retain water in the body, and that disease is called waterberry disease, and it can also cause death. So in this case, when you're introducing pellets, immediately, if you had not lifted your window coverings, you're supposed to lift them to allow enough air coming in and out of the chicken house. That way you're going to reduce deaths that could occur due to changes of food, and also the disease we've said called waterberry disease. There are other diseases that could cause death in your chicks, like a disease known as Newcastle. Newcastle is a disease that is a very serious one, a viral disease, and it can sweep your flock. So that one we prevent by vaccinating the birds. You give your birds vaccines at least twice before they are slaughtered. And I said before, we're going to be doing a video on vaccinations, so stay tuned here, and you're going to be learning more about how we vaccinate our chicken. Again, if you're not so much aware about this, you can ask your supplier, the person supplying you the chicks, at what age am I supposed to be giving this vaccine, and this one, because there are some diseases that come to your chicks, like the Newcastle. You're supposed to vaccinate, failure to which, if there is an outbreak of that disease, many of them are going to die. So it is good to vaccinate. Another cause of death in your chicks could be damp floor. If the floor is damp, it is likely that your chicks may incur infections, viral infections, or bacterial infections from the dampness in the floor, on the floor. So make sure that your floors are always dry. Again, damp floors are also likely to cause something we call lameness. The birds may get diseases on their legs, infected on their legs, where they're using to step the floor, and once they get the disease, they are not able to walk well. And if they are not able to walk well, it means they're also not going to eat well, and they might die in the process. So make sure that your floor is always dry at any given age, or at any given time of your rearing chicken. So those are some of the causes I've said that could be causing death in your chicks, and it is good to check one by one of them at whatever age your chicks are dying. I didn't know it was at what age, but I've tried to answer the question comprehensively from day 1 to maturity. What could be the cause of your chicks dying? Just look at them properly and see if there's something that you need to address or to change. But the bottom line here is, get a vet, let them diagnose your chicks, and let them recommend the right medication before they continue dying so much. And if you have another question, please do not hesitate to ask. I'll be more than happy to answer you. And keep watching my videos. Keep coming back to watch, to like, to subscribe, and to share, and God will bless you. So thank you so much. Consider sharing this video with your friend, with a fellow farmer, or with a person aspiring to be a farmer, and God will bless you. Thank you so much. See you in the next one.